Hey, this is Brittany with marvelandmake.com. Today I'm going to show you how to cut up a whole chicken, or at least the way that I do it. There's lots of videos out there on how to do it. It's very simple once you do it once or twice, and you'd be amazed at everything that you can do with a whole chicken. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to use the meat for fried chicken. That will be dinner tonight, and half of the meat for that, and then the other half I'm going to use in a chicken and rice recipe. The carcass, along with some of the skin, I'm going to put into a stock pot and add some vegetable scraps that I've frozen over the past couple months, and just let that, cover it with water, add some salt, let it simmer all day. I have a article that I'll link to below so that you can see just step by step how to do that. But I never have to buy chicken stock. It's just a super simple, easy thing to do, especially if you're cooking from scratch. So I hope this video is helpful to you.
So cutting up a whole chicken. First, I'm going to start with the wings and the drumettes. These are pretty simple. Basically, I'm just kind of pulling up and away from the body so that the bone and the joint kind of starts to separate, and that's where I know where to stick my knife. And that's basically the method of how you do this. So you'll see that throughout this whole video. So here we go. This is the wing and the drumette. You want to make sure you have a clean workspace to cut your chicken. This is my sink. I have a farmhouse sink, so I've got like a nice big surface to work on. But again, you're working with raw chicken. Make sure that once you're done that you wash your hands and clean up after yourself, of course. Now I'm moving on to the thigh and the drum, and basically just cutting the skin so that I can kind of separate it from the body. And again, I'm pulling against the body, against the way that the bone wants to go, so that I'm overextending the joints and I can figure out where they connect, because where they connect is basically you just kind of stick your knife in there and wiggle a little bit and it'll just kind of come right off. It's pretty simple. I use my fingers a lot to kind of tuck around and feel where they are connecting. So see, I just pulled against the body and saw where it was, and it just kind of popped off. Pretty simple. So that is your thigh and your drum. And I am going to separate these two. So again, just kind of, I pull up with the drum and I can kind of feel it pop in there, and just cutting some skin away, and again, overextending on that joint so I can see where to put my knife. Cutting a whole chicken was one of the first things I did as a from scratch cook that just really brought me tremendous joy. There's something about it that you just feel like a homesteader. You feel really capable. You feel really connected with your food. I remember just seeing where, oh my gosh, this is where this piece of meat is, I can look, this is, I recognize this. And it was just something really satisfying. So I just encourage everybody to do this. And as you'll see further on in the video, I also use it for stock. It's so much cheaper to buy a whole chicken, or, to harvest your own, and to use it in this way. Okay, so I've done the same thing on both sides. Now I'm going to go to the breast. You figure out where the bone is, and you just kind of cut along that bone. And this is really easy. The meat kind of wants to pull away from the body here. So this is not hard at all. Just kind of, you slice and pull, slice and pull, slice and pull. And now I'm going to remove the breast. That other little piece of meat that I was showing you is not the breast. So this is your breast, and you guys totally keep that skin on. When we buy these boneless, skinless chicken breasts in the store, it's again more expensive and not nearly as healthy. The skin of a chicken is very fatty, and we want to eat fat when we eat meat. It contains omega-3 and 6 fatty acids, proteins, again, just your really healthy saturated fat. So for sure, eat the skin. The skin is delicious. And this little piece of meat that I just cut off, that is your, I've heard it called a whole bunch of different things: tenderloin, breast fillet, inner fillet, whatever you want to call it. But it's just this really nice, very tender piece of meat that sits basically under the breast. It's sometimes mistaken for being part of the breast, but it's a separate cut technically. So, okay, and I'm getting the second breast and tenderloin off of this chicken. Super, super simple. And you'll see that I'm leaving a little bit of the skin on this carcass and a little bit of meat as well. And that is going to serve as a really nice stock. So all of the meat is removed. And now this carcass, this body of this chicken, is not going to go to waste. It is going to go into my stock pot. And I have saved, I always save when I cut vegetables, I put them in a freezer bag and just freeze them. So I've got all these vegetable scraps. I'm going to throw those in there, top it with water, add some salt, and let it simmer all day. Then I'll just strain everything out and make some broth. So again, this is what I am left with, all of this beautiful meat. I have my 2 tenders, 2 breasts with the skin on, and 2 drums. The drums and the thighs and the wings and the drumettes are going to be fried chicken tonight. Then those are your thighs. Here are your wings and your drumettes.
That's how simple it is. I hope you found this video useful. Follow marvelandmake.com for more nutrient-dense recipes and tips for cooking from scratch.